you hear rather than see a jangle of keys, and by the firelight you could see the shadow of an individual moving about in the hallway. There's a bright orange ruffle of an outfit and a band of small ropes around the left shoulder. Isolde, the captain of the guard, is an Eldrin elf. She's opening the door.
And grumbling to herself, she has a glowing blue key on her key ring, and then just steps out of her door, kind of grumbles, "No, everyone, not all the Fae want disorganized madness like this." And she's just like, "Library." And she just opens the door, slams it again. She turns the key, "Library," and then opens it. Not the kitchen. Closes it. "Library." Opens it. Finally. Goes inside.
Immediately sends Oculus in, just all scope the place out, little guy. Shoo!
So the library, you crack open the door and send Oculus in. And you see this Eldrin figure walk to a back desk in the library. The library has a lot of books and scrolls, but the shelves are organized in no way that you recognize. There are flowers and plants that grow over everything. It seems like the shelves were actually plant trees or whatever, something that they told to grow a certain way. And, it comes up from the floor and then they come together and form natural shelves. And Isolde goes over and pulls out some scrolls, and she's just shuffling. It just looks like she's doing some kind of paperwork or some fact checking of some kind. And she goes over to a desk and then plops down and starts sifting through the papers. And you can hear she has the keys. You heard her the jingle. And an Oculus flies over. And we're gonna have you make a perception check through the Oculus.
Okay. What is perception? It's +3. Alright, so I got a 14.
Okay. So, it takes you longer, and yeah. Isolde is going through it, and at one point she adjusts her seat, and you can see underneath her, she has a coat on, and underneath that on her right hip, you can see the keyring. She continues her work.
Kiara just for everyone who's around Kiara, her eyes are her eyes sort of are this they're the same yellow color, they're just gone. This the whites of her eyes pretty much just widen to go away, as she has sort of the glowing eyes that Oculus has, and she's just looking at it appears it's in her back. It's on her hip under her cloak.
How do we get it?
We need to somehow disconnect it from her hip without her noticing.
Nualia's been pretty sneaky.
Very sneaky.
Steal it. And I can use some magic to grant you some assistance.
Sure.
And if you're caught, I got darkness.
Okay.
I could also, as soon as you get it, I could vortex warp you back here.
And then we close the door and we look for dungeon.
Sounds good.
But as soon as I cast my spell on Nualia, we're going to be out in the open. I'm not going to be able to have our pass without a trace on us. So we just got to find a place to lay low while we go forward. So,
I don't mind keeping the door ajar so that she has or
I can use greater invisibility, but I can only do it once. Is this where we want to use it?
It would be helpful, but I believe it's really short. Like, it lasts a minute.
What do you think, Nualia? I think you can swing it?
Yeah,
We just sort of look at me.
I have enhance ability, so I could just give her advantage on all dexterity checks.
Okay.
Which might help her with sneaking and stealing.
Yeah.
So I take out my staff. I just tap it on the ground and like we become visible. And then I spin it, and then a little mote of light comes out as one of my fairy friends goes into Nualia, and she just feels light as I cast enhance ability.
I'm gonna have Oculus cling on to you on the way out too, just in case.
Okay, so she slips in. You see her just glide right into the shadows. She tiptoes across the floor. And she's almost stepped on a paper, but she goes around it. Comes basically like she's like 3 feet from Isolde, and Isolde is just turning the pages, writing something down. Okay, and then we're gonna have Nualia make a sleight of hand check. Okay, she does good, but she just sits there.
Sneaking thoughts.
Contemplating how exactly to do this without alerting Isolde. Leans around, checks out the angles, and then you see her like through just crazy limbo lane as she reaches under the cloak and around the chair. And then Isolde looks up and looks around her, stretches, turns in the chair. Nualia has to dive into the books and hide.
Scott Pilgrim's through like a little gap in the shelves. Boom.
Yeah. And Isolde kind of just rubs her eyes. What? I've been working too much. Turns back. Alright, Oculus wanted to knock off some books or something.
Excellent.
Your illusion.
Because it's either that or Oculus is gonna take the L and be like, you know how bats or birds sometimes fly into places they're not supposed to, so they're like, where am I? Oh goodness, there's these books. Wall.
Minor illusion, a bunch of books falling off the shelf.
Oh god.
Alright, Ari casts minor illusion, and then there's just sound just like
And then jolts up. She looks around. What was that? And she pulls out her sword and starts to creak around. And
Minor illusion, rats.
yes, this is rats
Knocking books over.
more like the sound of rats. She goes, oh no, my god. Hate fey rats. And Nualia will try.
I like it because like my illusion does like sight or sound, so she's like just seeing, like hearing all this stuff and like looking around and just like not even seeing it at all.
I don't want to clean it up. I have some other thing to do.
Where's this thing coming from?
So there's this moment where you guys can like see just through the bookcases. Isolde's turning around, and as she turns swiftly, like her cloak flares up, and then Nualia just
Ding.
and she Oh, this would be the perfect time for the vortex.
Oh, yes. I will vortex her out of there.
Yeah, as soon as like Nualia has the key, like just this little bat onto her cloak. I'm here.
And so she's brought back and she's like, whoa.
Excellent work.
Thank you.
No problem.
There's more than one key on that, isn't there?
Yeah.
Any of them look like any of the keys that we have?
Yeah.
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 We can assume that that's the key.
And Nualia
Bugger.
holds up the blue key and she says, I think I know how to use this one. And she shuts the door and says, dungeon. And then she tries it and like it opens up to like the bathroom, just like tries again. Dungeon.
Say it with conviction.
Dungeon. And then she turns it in again, and you guys, the door opens to an interesting looking room as you see just this hallway of mirrors. And Nualia steps in and she says,
Is this their dungeon?
Whoa. This girl's... This is crazy. Look at the mirrors.
Kiara, I think, has a slight distrust of mirrors. Like,
Like, do they keep their dungeon in a mirror though?
and you look at the mirrors and you see yourself, but you're like a ghostly person. And also in the mirror is a different individual, and they appear to be sleeping. Each mirror has a different person in it. And that person appears to be fully corporeal. They're just asleep. And it varies according to each mirror who's in it. There's one is a dark-skinned man who has flaming red hair. He appears to be human. Another has a beautiful blonde woman with fair skin. She's a fae. There's another one that holds a tabaxi that's like a snow leopard, and he has really long fangs. And you're going along, and you
It's
come...
very long.
Yes!
Skadoosh!
I will be legendary!
And you come at last to a dark-skinned fae who's female. It has dragonfly wings.
Alright. I like touch the glass. I'm like, are you Artoro's mom? Hello?
What's her name?
You actually never got her name.
Yeah.
But reminder,
You're just a Turo's mom.
Arturo did give you guys like a firework to signal when you found her.
Right. Are we able to vortex her out of there?
I can do vortex again.
You, you can certainly try to vortex her, but you look at the mirror and,
it's like she's stuck in the mirror?
yeah, it's like she's stuck in the mirror.
Ah.
Yeah.
I think we have to get her out of the mirror other ways.
Unless your son's got ideas. Kiara, where's that firework?
Nualia, do you think
Well, theoretically.
Yeah.
do you think that key can open the... I mean, I guess these mirrors are cells.
Yeah, maybe. So she starts, she finds the wooden key, and she says, well, does anyone see the other ones? And then you pull out all 4 of the keys. So then she I don't know, she just kind of, waves the key, the key she has around in front of the mirror,
Start poking it.
Would I...
Afternoon,
Would I know
Mom.
how
We're
something like
here
this
to...
works?
As they're, doing this, Kiara has this, moment, oh, yeah, we should probably... Hello, Mom, we're here. So, we're here to, skadoosh you out.
Drown them.
Well, she is unresponsive, as all of them are unresponsive. And Amelia, you were saying something.
I was gonna say, would I know anything about how to open something like this with the keys? I don't know.
Yeah, make an Arcana check.
I should know it by now. 14.
You're looking at it, and like there's 4 keys, and there's 4 sides to the mirror. Maybe like each key goes to like a corner or something.
Maybe try the corners.
Yeah, so I'll like try that with one of the keys.
Yeah, and like the key just kind of the keys just one. You go to each corner, and then one of the corner actually responds, and it just kind of absorbs the key into it.
Oh. Looks like different keys go for different corners.
Nualia is just kind of tapping it, and then finally the like, bottom left one goes in. And then you place the other 2 keys, and then the mirror actually, it's like watching running water go over it, and then out of the mirror comes her body as she like slumps forward and her eyes come into focus.
That's our cue. Sorry.
Yeah, and then she drops out of the mirror basically.
No.
And her eyes come into focus, and then she goes, "Oh no!"
Hello, Mom.
Hi.
Hello, Mom. We are friends of your son. Your boy sent us to do this. Like, she just firework.
And I'm just waving. I'm just like, "Hi, Arturo's mom."
Oh, hello. I'm Areza.
Ah, that's your name. Hello, Reza.
Oh, actually, it's Ruza. Sorry, Ruza.
Ruza.
Ruza or just Ruza?
Ruza. Sorry, I've been in there a long time.
Yeah. Take a minute.
But, seems like my crazy boy sent you.
Kiara about to use the bus term again, just being like, we're sort of stuck here. You're sort of stuck here, and your son says he's got a way out. Vis-a-vis. Out.
What year is it? You can respond with the year.
Yeah.
You respond with the year.
Kiara's mouth opens, a year comes out. Kiara's mouth opens, a year comes out. It's right.
She calculates. According to the material plane, yeah. Arturo would be old enough to help me now. And so she shakes off. She's wet. So she dries off, shakes off, and goes to the window and just pushes it open.
And I believe we should light... Did you light the firework yet? Did you light it inside the building?
No. No, I was so tempted to, but I'm like, oh, you know what? We should probably...
Ellie.
Yeah, so... That would have been great. It's like, we're here to do this. Good thing Ellie wasn't.
Luna would stop you. Absolutely, she would. She'd be like, no, Ellie.
Are there fireworks inside the Drow Kingdom? Because I think she just sits there. She's like, I guess it's like, no idea what this is. Anyway, so she just sticks it out the window.
Yeah. And there are other fireworks going on, so it's not like too crazy of a sight. And it goes off. It's this like
It's a purple color.
Yes.
nice. And for brevity's sake, we're just gonna say that you guys then take turns like flying down with
Ruza, and then Arturo appears.
And it's a very tender moment as Ruza, who is basically like a really tall, like black lady with fairy wings, she goes, "Arturo, is that you, my boy?" And he says, "Yeah, wow." And they have just a moment where she looks at his face, and she touches his eye that's missing. And she goes, oh, "Sorry, I get you too." He's like, "Yeah." And she kind of like holds up a, gosh, I feel like she holds up like a stump of an arm, which you guys didn't notice before,
but it's there, and she goes, "Well, let's get started."
And she puts on a cuff. Archero hands her a cufflink, not a cufflink, a like cuff to go on her stump.
Arm cuff, yeah.
Arm cuff to go on her stump, and then this like mage hand comes out of it, and now she has a mage hand.
Nice.
So, I'm assuming we want to leave the Feywild. Where are we going?
To the material plane?
Great. Where?
Kiara just like looks at Luna and she's like, "Oh, what Luna's home is?" I actually know. I'm just gonna make that she doesn't quite remember the name of the place. She was there for a hot minute. She's like, "Oh, topside names."
So how planar jump works, shift, I believe it's called. The you can just a city in like, you could say like Fergus in the material plane, or you could describe a specific teleport circle. And Ari, you know of 2 or 3 teleport circles that you could reference. You could reference the teleport circle that takes you to your mom's house. You could reference the teleport circle that takes you to the castle. Or you could reference the teleport circle that takes you to a kind of like a public teleport circle, but that's within the city, but outside the castle.
Well, I personally recommend the one near my brother's castle. But there's also this capital city one.
What's the name of the capital city? Kiara has a delivery to make, so she's like, "What's the name of the capital city?"
I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to going to the Arcanic Empire. I do kind of owe Kanaris an explanation.
The capital city is called Cortilia.
And that's not the place that she has to drop off that giant box she's been carrying?
No.
Oh,
No.
we have to drop off the box.
That's a great question.
It's been
a minute since I... Yeah, it's in a month.
I'm like, what do we have to do when we get out of the Feywild?
So, context...
He said, take it to... He wants you to take the box to Valoran, I believe. And that's to, like, the east... That's like literally the exact opposite of the Arcanic Empire. But he said he wanted to take it to the Vermeers on Valarian because they would basically like house it. And so like you can logically gather that the intent is really to just keep this out of the wrong hands. You don't need to immediately you're not expected to like hand deliver to them. Because he considered what party he would give it to, and he was like, "Oh, the Valarans are pretty neutral, so we'll give it to them."
Right. So if she just popped up there, just be like, "Oh, no, I'm Lucius. Don't you recognize me? Here, take your dang box." Yeah, don't you see the resemblance to me? There you go. Yeah, Kiara's like, "Nah, I don't know that city." Wait, no, it's Arcanic Empire. She would know it.
I personally need to get home before my brother gets there.
Luna says, "Well, Ellie, didn't you talk to him for a long time?"
I did.
Do you think he would mind us staying? Like, could we seek refuge there?
I mean, I think so. He seemed very receptive to me, for me to be under his tutelage. And I look towards Ari, to, I guess, be a princess? It's so weird to think
Well.
to say out loud.
Kiara raises an eyebrow.
Learn to be a princess.
I mean, it could be.
It's
It's not. She says there. She knows where the Arcanic Empire is in relation to Verkus. It's a ways, yeah.
Yeah. Because there's like the capital is on the west coast, and then like there's like a bunch of fields, and then there's a Fey Forest, then there's Verkus. So there's like countryside and Fey Forest.
And Fey Forests, as you know, basically manipulate time and space, so they're basically impossible to cross. Unless you have a Fey escort. So, like, getting to Verkus it would take a hot minute to get there, but you also know that you could potentially find other means of transportation.
Well, I mean...
We do stand a likelihood to be able to transport back to Verkus. Because if we transport to Verkus, and she looks just like at Luna, and she's like, "Oh, we'd be kidnapping, and that might be a problem specifically for you." Looks at her.
Yeah.
I was like, Luna, don't you have your... I mean, I guess your hearing?
I just had this mental image of Luna being like, "Yep, nope, let's go somewhere else."
With the whole...
Yeah, let's go to the Empire. I love to travel.
And plus, Jade will handle it until we get back. It's only been a month.
Is the teleportation circle the one that I left that's in the middle of the palace, or is it...
That one is specifically... There are two in the palace. The one you're referencing is the one you used to get to your mom's house, or Lowen's.
Okay.
You can reference that one.
Because if everybody gives me a second, I'll run in, get appropriately dressed, and then escort you in as my guests.
I mean,
Oh.
Deirdre is just like, well, if I'm gonna go to...
Or I guess they would know me as a cat, too, so...
I like to think that Deirdre and Kiara like share this look like Arcanic Empire.
Well, if I'm going to the Arcanic Empire, it's definitely gonna be under the
Disguise self.
Actually, that's not a bad idea. I can do that.
And Kiara, and I'll just, do my best. Because Kiara finds this hilarious, but at the same time, she's like, "Oh, yeah, definitely, you'd have to designate us as guests."
Yeah.
Although I'm going to need to have a really good reason because my brother's going to see through that. You'll be Ellie's bodyguard. Princesses sometimes have bodyguards.
Nualia pipes up. Ellie didn't know she was a princess until today.
I don't know.
No. And then Kiara just like, she looks at Dervla. We are other teachers.
Well, I mean, Deirdre's like...
Or Luna's bodyguard, she knew.
Or we're Luna's bodyguards, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Luna's like a princess too, like in Verkus.
Well, I'm a duke's daughter. I'm a lord's daughter. It's a little different. Basically.
I love Luna.
Yeah, this
No big
could
deal.
work out because we could see that you're trying to establish like more friendly relationships
Connections
between the human kingdom and the Arcanic Empire. So you could say that this is a
Political, like alliance type move to do, and I could write official letter of introduction for you. And Deirdre, aren't you already a noble? And Deirdre's like, I mean, yeah, technically. Oh wait, I do know.
So this is
She's married to a dead dude.
I'm also technically the Dowager Duchess of...
That's certain land. With the Meliamni name. Technically, but I also the court mage. So...
And what's funny is that Deirdre knows,
she knows the court mage Illumise, but she thinks Illumise is a separate person. So she says the court mage Illumise, and then,
Ari, you don't recognize the name Illumise.
Who's that?
And
Court
Ellie,
mage?
here's your moment to reveal who Illumise is.
Yeah, and I'm like, actually, Illumise is, I think it's Ardius, right? Yeah, okay. Yeah, actually, Illumise is Ardius, and I'm like, your brother.
And she just goes, oh.
You know our old. So KR just does it like,
I had no idea I was pen pals with
with an emperor.
It's just like...
the sworn enemy emperor, mind you. Kiara just like,
she's just like, I've done worse.
hey.
Done worse.
You could just be there to say hello to your pen pal and, oh, wow, no. I like this plan. This plan's fun.
Yeah, we're visiting.
I've never seen the Arcanic Empire for myself, so.
Yeah, and you could be my bodyguard.
I could be your bodyguard.
That makes sense.
Yeah. I think Deirdre and Kiara are just having a little bit of fun with the irony of this whole situation.
Yeah.
Like,
This is good work.
And then Nualia is like, technically, Therian and I are your stepkids.
yes. They both make that face too, like,
This sounds like a great plan.
I love all of this. This is perfect.
And
Making friends in many places.
Arturo just furrows his brow, saying, "All right, so where are we going?"
I guess the Arcanic Empire.
Specifically at, and then she points at Ari so that Ari can designate the proper spot so that's like not in the middle of the town square where it becomes a problem.
Okay,
Yes.
so you draw out the circle. They, because each teleport circle has its own like seal, so you draw that out, and then Arturo and his mom put their hands together and start to concentrate. You guys feel this. Basically, it's almost like a primal energy as they manage to, as Archfey, actually like tap into the like essence of the Feywild. And then
How's my friend feel about this?
he's pretty. He doesn't know what's going on almost, but then you guys are kind of, you lift up, you feel your feet lift off the ground, and then there's a moment where you feel yourself just floating. And for like the briefest of seconds, you feel, Kiara, you feel your friend like,
Friend.
it's almost like he called out to other eyes to like look at that direction as you feel like all these eyes turn to you, but you don't see them.
Kiara just goes rictus from like, that's not comfortable.
And then you guys like land back on the ground. And Ari, you are now with everyone in the familiar teleport room of the castle.
Hello, this is Tiffany, your GM for Dungeon Damsels. We update on Wednesdays and Saturdays now at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We have merchandise on our Redbubble and on links via the Linktree. We also have coffee and a Patreon if you wish to donate to us. Please like, subscribe, and comment as we would love to hear from you. You can also find us on basically every podcast platform out there if you can't sit down and listen to a YouTube video. And if you're wondering why we don't stream, it's because my internet can't support it. But regardless, thank you for listening and watching. And remember to be kind, inclusive, and loving.